Confidence has a magnetic effect that goes far beyond physical appearance. Many people believe attraction is mostly about looks, but in reality, confidence often leaves a much deeper and more lasting impression. When a man speaks with certainty, calmness, and belief in himself, his words automatically carry more weight and influence. It is not about using complicated lines or trying to impress with perfect phrases. It is about the energy behind the words. Women naturally notice when someone is comfortable in his own skin, when he does not try too hard to gain approval, and when he expresses himself with clarity. This type of presence creates curiosity and interest because confidence signals emotional strength and stability. When you communicate with confidence, even simple words can feel powerful. The tone of your voice, the calm pace of your speech, and the way you maintain composure show that you value yourself. This quietly tells her that you do not rely on external validation to feel worthy. Confidence shows that you have direction in life, that you trust your decisions, and that you respect your own individuality. These qualities naturally attract attention because they reflect maturity and reliability, two things that many women subconsciously look for in a man. Instead of chasing approval, a confident man focuses on expressing his true thoughts honestly and respectfully. This honesty creates a sense of authenticity that is difficult to ignore. Confidence also helps create emotional comfort. When your words are delivered with calm certainty, they reduce pressure and allow the conversation to flow naturally. Women often feel more relaxed around someone who is not nervous, overly reactive, or trying too hard to impress. A confident man listens carefully, responds thoughtfully, and communicates without fear of judgment. This creates a positive emotional atmosphere where attraction can grow naturally. Confidence does not mean arrogance. It means knowing your value while still respecting others. Arrogance pushes people away, but genuine confidence invites connection. Another important part of confidence is consistency. When your actions match your words, trust begins to develop. If you say something and confidently stand by it, it shows integrity. Women often notice when someone is emotionally stable and predictable in a positive way. This stability creates a sense of security because it shows that you are not easily shaken by small challenges. A confident mindset allows you to stay relaxed even when conversations become deeper or more meaningful. This calm presence makes your personality more memorable than any rehearsed line ever could. Confidence also allows appreciation and respect to feel more sincere. When a confident man expresses admiration, it feels genuine because it comes from a place of self-assurance rather than neediness. Instead of trying to win someone's attention, he simply shares his perspective openly. This balanced energy creates attraction because it shows emotional independence. True confidence quietly communicates that you are complete on your own, yet open to building a meaningful connection. When confidence becomes part of your communication style, your words naturally feel more powerful, more attractive, and more unforgettable. And that is exactly why the right words, spoken with true confidence, can become almost impossible to resist. One of the most powerful ways to create deep attraction is by making a woman feel truly understood. In a world where many conversations remain surface level, emotional understanding feels rare and valuable. When a woman feels that someone genuinely listens to her thoughts, respects her opinions, and pays attention to her feelings, it builds a connection that goes far beyond ordinary interaction. Understanding is not just about hearing words, it is about sensing the emotions behind those words. It shows emotional intelligence, patience, and maturity, which naturally increases respect and interest. Many people talk, but very few truly listen. When you become the person who listens with intention, your presence automatically feels different. Women often express themselves through emotions, subtle hints, and deeper meanings within conversations. When you notice these details and respond thoughtfully, it shows that you are attentive and aware. This creates a feeling of comfort because she realizes she does not need to constantly explain herself to be understood. When someone feels understood, they feel valued. And when someone feels valued, they naturally feel closer to the person who makes them feel that way. This emotional closeness builds trust, which is one of the strongest foundations of attraction. Instead of trying to impress with perfect lines, simply showing genuine interest in her perspective can create a strong impact. Understanding also means accepting differences in opinions without becoming defensive or dismissive. When you respect her viewpoint, even if it is different from yours, it shows confidence and emotional stability. It communicates that you are secure enough in yourself to allow space for another person's thoughts and experiences. This balance creates a healthy dynamic where conversations feel meaningful instead of forced. Women are naturally drawn to men who create an environment where they feel safe to express themselves freely. Emotional safety allows real personalities to appear, and real personalities create stronger connections than any scripted conversation ever could. Another important aspect of making a woman feel understood is remembering small details she shares. When you recall something she mentioned earlier, it shows that you genuinely care about what she says. This small effort creates a powerful emotional effect because it signals sincerity. It shows that your interest is not temporary or superficial. Women often notice when someone pays attention to the little things because small details reveal big intentions. This level of awareness creates a sense of importance, and feeling important in someone's life naturally increases emotional attraction. True understanding also requires empathy. Instead of immediately giving advice or trying to fix everything, sometimes simply acknowledging her feelings is enough. Saying something that reflects her emotions shows that you are emotionally present. This presence builds a deeper connection because it shows that you are not just hearing her words, you are feeling the meaning behind them. Emotional connection grows stronger when both people feel seen, heard, and respected. When a woman feels that her thoughts matter and her emotions are not ignored, she becomes more open, more comfortable, and more connected. When your words reflect genuine understanding, they create a feeling that is difficult to replace. Emotional connection is often more powerful than physical attraction because it touches the deeper part of human nature. And when a woman feels truly understood, your words naturally become more meaningful, more memorable, and far more difficult to resist. Genuine appreciation has a unique power that can deeply influence attraction because it touches the emotional side of human nature. Many people give compliments, but not all compliments create the same effect. Women quickly recognize the difference between ordinary words and sincere appreciation. When appreciation feels honest and thoughtful, it becomes memorable. It shows that you are paying attention not only to appearance, but also to personality, effort, and character. This kind of recognition feels meaningful because it reflects emotional awareness. When a woman realizes that you notice qualities that others often ignore, she naturally feels special, and feeling special creates a strong emotional response. Appreciation becomes more powerful when it focuses on what makes her unique rather than what is obvious. Compliments that only focus on physical beauty may create a moment of positivity, but appreciation that highlights intelligence, kindness, ambition, or authenticity creates a deeper impression. It shows that you value substance, not just surface level attraction. Women often respect men who recognize inner qualities because it signals maturity and depth. This type of communication builds a connection that feels more genuine and less predictable. Instead of sounding rehearsed, your words feel natural and thoughtful, which increases their impact. Another important element of appreciation is timing. When appreciation is given naturally within the flow of conversation, it feels effortless and real. Forced compliments can feel uncomfortable, but spontaneous appreciation feels warm and sincere. For example, noticing her dedication to something she cares about or acknowledging her perspective during a conversation shows attentiveness. This attentiveness creates emotional comfort because it reflects respect. Respect is often the foundation of long term attraction because it shows that you value her individuality. When appreciation is combined with respect, it creates a balanced emotional dynamic that encourages trust and openness. Appreciation also communicates positivity. Positive words create a pleasant emotional environment where conversations feel enjoyable rather than stressful. People naturally feel drawn toward those who make them feel good about themselves. When a woman associates your presence with positive emotions, she becomes more interested in continuing the interaction. This does not mean giving excessive praise, but rather offering balanced and meaningful recognition when it feels appropriate. Too much praise can reduce sincerity, but thoughtful appreciation at the right moment increases its value. The key is authenticity, because authenticity creates credibility, and credibility strengthens attraction. When appreciation highlights effort rather than perfection, it creates a deeper connection. Everyone appreciates being recognized for who they truly are instead of being compared to unrealistic ideals. By appreciating effort, values, and mindset, you communicate emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence shows that you understand human nature beyond appearances. Women often feel comfortable around someone who appreciates them in a respectful and balanced way because it removes pressure to appear perfect. This comfort allows natural personality to shine, and natural personality is what creates genuine chemistry. True appreciation also reflects confidence. When your words come from a calm and secure mindset, they feel more powerful. Appreciation should not sound like a request for approval, but rather a reflection of your honest observation. This balanced approach creates attraction because it shows emotional independence while still expressing interest. It communicates that you are capable of valuing someone without losing your sense of self. This creates a healthy dynamic where appreciation feels like a choice rather than a necessity. When appreciation is sincere, thoughtful, and emotionally aware, it leaves a lasting impression that simple compliments cannot achieve. And when a woman feels genuinely valued for who she truly is, your words naturally become more powerful and far more difficult to resist. Emotional safety is one of the strongest foundations of attraction because it allows a woman to feel comfortable being her true self without fear of judgment or pressure. In many interactions, people try too hard to impress, which can create tension and make conversations feel unnatural. However, when a man communicates with calmness, patience, and respect, it creates a relaxed environment where connection can grow naturally. Emotional safety is not created through grand gestures, but through consistent behavior that shows stability and understanding. When your words feel steady and your reactions remain balanced, it signals emotional maturity, and emotional maturity is often deeply attractive. Women often pay attention to how a man responds in different situations. If he reacts with anger, insecurity, or impatience, it creates discomfort and distance. But when he responds with composure, it shows that he is in control of his emotions. This emotional control creates trust because it shows that he is reliable and predictable in a positive way. Trust grows when someone feels that they can express themselves without being criticized or misunderstood. When a woman feels safe sharing her thoughts, opinions, and experiences, the conversation naturally becomes more meaningful. Meaningful conversations create emotional closeness, and emotional closeness strengthens attraction. Emotional safety also comes from respectful communication. Respect is shown not only through polite words, but also through tone, attitude, and intention. When a man speaks in a way that shows he values boundaries and individuality, it creates comfort. Women appreciate when they feel heard without pressure to immediately agree or respond in a certain way. This sense of freedom allows genuine interaction to develop. Emotional safety does not mean avoiding all disagreement, but it means handling differences with maturity and understanding. When disagreements are handled calmly, they actually strengthen connection because they show that the relationship dynamic is strong enough to handle honest opinions. Patience is another important element of emotional safety. Real connection takes time to develop, and rushing emotional closeness can create resistance. When you allow conversations to progress naturally, it shows confidence and emotional balance. Patience communicates that you are not desperate for immediate validation, but rather interested in building something meaningful. This approach feels comfortable because it removes pressure and allows both people to express themselves freely. Women often feel more attracted to men who give space for natural connection instead of forcing intensity too quickly. A calm pace shows self control, and self control creates trust. Consistency also plays a major role in creating emotional safety. When your words and actions match over time, reliability becomes visible. Inconsistent behavior creates confusion, while consistency builds comfort. Women often feel more secure when they know what to expect emotionally. This reliability shows that your personality is stable rather than unpredictable. Emotional stability is often associated with strength because it shows that you are not easily shaken by temporary situations. Stability allows deeper communication because it creates an environment where feelings can be expressed honestly. When emotional safety is present, attraction grows naturally without pressure or manipulation. It creates a connection that feels genuine rather than forced. Women often remember how someone makes them feel more than what was actually said. When your presence creates calmness, comfort, and trust, your words naturally feel more meaningful. Emotional safety transforms simple conversations into memorable experiences because it touches a deeper level of human connection. And when a woman feels emotionally safe around you, your presence becomes comforting, valued, and extremely difficult to resist. Mystery has a subtle yet powerful influence on attraction because it naturally creates curiosity. When everything about a person is revealed too quickly, the conversation can lose excitement and become predictable. However, when there is a sense that there is more to discover, interest continues to grow. Women often feel intrigued by men who do not try to explain everything immediately because curiosity encourages deeper engagement. Mystery is not about hiding the truth or playing games, but about allowing your personality to unfold gradually. This slow discovery creates anticipation, and anticipation keeps conversations interesting and memorable. When a man shares his thoughts with balance, revealing enough to create connection, but not everything at once, it keeps the emotional dynamic engaging. Oversharing too quickly can sometimes reduce excitement because it removes the natural process of learning about each other step by step. Mystery creates space for imagination, and imagination often increases attraction because it allows a woman to form her own interest in knowing more. This does not require complicated strategies. It simply involves being comfortable with silence, allowing conversations to breathe, and not feeling pressure to fill every moment with explanation. Confidence plays an important role in maintaining mystery. A confident man does not feel the need to constantly prove himself or seek validation. Instead, he allows his actions and words to speak naturally over time. This calm approach makes his personality feel layered rather than obvious. When every detail is not immediately available, it signals emotional independence. Emotional independence can feel attractive because it shows that a person has depth beyond surface level interaction. Women often appreciate when a man has interests, goals, and thoughts that are not entirely centered on gaining approval. This creates balance and makes his presence feel intriguing rather than overwhelming. Mystery also increases value because it encourages meaningful conversation instead of predictable dialogue. When responses are thoughtful and slightly unexpected, they capture attention. Predictability often leads to boredom, while curiosity leads to engagement. For example, instead of always giving direct or obvious answers, allowing a little playfulness or thoughtful pause can make the interaction more dynamic. This creates a natural rhythm in communication where both people feel interested in continuing the conversation. Interest grows when the conversation feels enjoyable rather than repetitive. Another important aspect of mystery is maintaining individuality. When a man has his own direction in life, his own interests, and his own perspective, it naturally creates depth. Depth cannot be faked because it comes from genuine experiences and personal growth. Women often feel attracted to men who have purpose beyond the conversation itself. Purpose shows ambition, and ambition signals progress. When a person is focused on growth, it creates the impression that there is always more to discover about them. This continuous discovery keeps attraction alive because curiosity remains active. Mystery should always feel natural rather than forced. Artificial distance or intentional confusion can damage trust, but natural curiosity strengthens connection. The goal is not to appear unavailable, but to allow the interaction to develop gradually without rushing emotional intensity. When curiosity grows at a comfortable pace, it creates a pleasant emotional experience. Women often enjoy conversations that feel fresh and interesting rather than predictable and repetitive. This enjoyment encourages them to remain engaged because they feel that each interaction offers something new. When your communication creates curiosity without pressure, It leaves a lasting impression that encourages further connection. Mystery adds depth to attraction because it keeps emotions engaged over time instead of fading quickly. And when a woman feels curious about you in a genuine way, your presence becomes more interesting, more memorable, and far more difficult to resist. Respect is one of the most powerful qualities that can create genuine and lasting attraction because it reflects maturity, emotional intelligence, and strong character. When a man communicates with respect, his words carry more value and meaning. Respect is shown not only through polite language, but also through the way he listens, responds, and understands boundaries. Women often feel more comfortable around someone who treats them with dignity and consideration. This comfort naturally strengthens connection because it shows that the interaction is based on mutual value rather than pressure or control. True attraction grows stronger when both people feel appreciated as individuals rather than being judged or underestimated. Respect also demonstrates confidence because it shows that a man does not need to dominate a conversation or prove superiority in order to feel secure. When someone is comfortable with who they do not feel threatened by another person's opinions or choices. This emotional balance creates a positive atmosphere where communication feels natural and enjoyable. Women often notice when a man shows patience during conversations and allows space for different viewpoints. This openness signals strength because it reflects stability and self assurance. Strength combined with kindness creates a powerful impression because it shows that confidence does not require arrogance. Another important part of respect is honoring personal boundaries. Every individual has limits, preferences, and values that shape their comfort level. When a man recognizes and respects these boundaries, it shows awareness and sensitivity. Women often feel more secure when they realize that their feelings and choices are valued. Respecting boundaries communicates that the connection is based on genuine interest rather than selfish intention. This creates trust because it shows that emotional safety is a priority. Trust allows attraction to develop naturally because it removes fear of being misunderstood or pressured. Respect also strengthens communication because it encourages honesty. When a woman feels that her thoughts are taken seriously, she becomes more open in expressing herself. Honest communication creates clarity, and clarity reduces confusion or unnecessary tension. When both people feel heard and valued, the connection becomes more meaningful. Respectful communication does not avoid differences, but handles them with calmness and understanding. This ability to remain composed even when opinions differ shows emotional maturity. Emotional maturity is often associated with reliability, and reliability creates long term attraction. Consistency and respectful behavior also increases credibility. When a man treats others with fairness and kindness, it shows integrity. Integrity reflects strong values, and strong values often create admiration. Women often appreciate men who remain respectful regardless of the situation because it shows authenticity. Authenticity builds confidence in the connection because it signals that the behavior is genuine rather than temporary. Respect becomes more powerful when it is consistent because consistency builds trust over time. Trust transforms simple interactions into deeper emotional bonds. Respect also enhances appreciation and emotional understanding because it shows that attraction is not only based on external qualities. When a man respects a woman's individuality, dreams, and perspective, it communicates that he values her as a complete person. This level of appreciation creates emotional warmth because it removes the feeling of being judged. Women often feel more attracted to someone who sees them as equal and communicates with sincerity. Respect creates balance in communication because it ensures that both people feel valued without losing their individuality. When respect becomes a natural part of communication, it creates an atmosphere where attraction can grow with stability and comfort. Respect strengthens emotional connection because it shows maturity, patience, and genuine intention. And when a woman feels deeply respected, your words naturally carry more influence, more meaning, and become almost impossible to resist.